What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle, and this is Above the Rim. I wanted to kick off this channel by starting a series for what to expect from teams this offseason. Today's target, the Boston Celtics. To start, this team had a record-breaking season, sitting 3 games behind the #1 seed Cavaliers. They have a dynasty in the making, claiming their 18th championship in 2023 and 24, and under the leadership of a guy like Psycho Joe, they're in great shape for years to come.
It's been dark, but in a good way.
What's that?
I mean, you just gotta tap into your darkness.
However, some things are going to be shaken up sooner rather than later for them in this offseason. They have a lot of star power in Tatum, Brown, Holiday, and Porzingis, but what baggage comes with those big-time players? Big-time contracts. So I wanted to make a tier list to go over who I think will stay or go, and why. To start, I wanted to go over some boring but important stuff for the team. Celtics have $230.6 million in existing contractual obligations for the next season, and the second apron threshold for 2025 and 26 will be around $207.8 million. This means that they're currently $22.8 million into the second apron without Horford or filling out the roster. Now, for those of you who don't know what the second apron is, the first question you might ask is there a first apron? Well, that'd be a great question, because there is. But even before that, there's a luxury tax, which is a penalty mechanism for teams that spend too much on player salaries, so they don't create a super team by signing tons of stars. Teams exceeding the luxury tax pay a penalty for each dollar spent above the threshold, and the tax rate increases as a team's spending rises. The aprons are additional thresholds set above the luxury tax, which were put in place to further promote balance in the league. The first apron is usually set a few million higher than the luxury tax, while the second is about 15 million or more above. If these aprons are exceeded, a team will face significant restrictions on their ability to make roster moves, particularly in free agency and trades. The system is set up in 3 tiers, which goes from luxury tax to the first apron and then the second. The basis of this system is that the more a team spends, the more penalties they're going to face. So the first player I wanted to look at was Peyton Pritchard. He's coming off a breakout season, and I have high expectations for him this season as well. He gets paid $3 million less than Sam Hauser per year, which I think should be the other way around. And that's no shot at Hauser, because he averaged the highest 3-point percentage on the team. He just gets less minutes. I just think that Pritchard produces way above his pay grade and provides a lot more than just 3-and-D. He averaged 14.3 points per game, which is about 4.7 higher than last year, while shooting at a 47.2% clip on 10.8 shot attempts, increasing by about 0.4%. His 3-point percentage was at 40.7% on 7.8 attempts, which increased by 2.2%. He's averaging 6 more minutes compared to last year and has established himself as a reliable player in the rotation when other players need some rest. He holds the record with 246 3-pointers made off the bench in a single season, which he achieved this past year too. So I believe that if he gets more minutes, he could make an even bigger jump than he did last year. Not to mention, he won the 6th Man of the Year award, adding to his impressive 2024 and 25 resume. With all of these impressive stats and accolades, I see big things on the horizon for the Oregon alum, which is why I think he's one of the untouchables on this roster. He has too much potential that's going to be tapped into these next coming years. Alright, next we got Sam Hauser. This is a guy every team wants on their bench. He's got the highest 3-point percentage on the team with a scorching 41.6% on 5.6 shot attempts, averaging 8.5 points per game. As I previously said, he's making $10 million a year, which is 3 more than Pritchard's $7 million. And since the team is $20 million over the second apron, trading him for a player with a much cheaper contract or draft picks will significantly benefit the team's salary. He's going to be a big trade target to watch this summer for plenty of teams that are in need of 3-point shooting, which is why I think he will probably be moved. Next up, we got Luke Kornet. This one's a little bit tricky. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent this offseason and only got paid $2 million on a 1-year contract, so the organization isn't exactly going to go chase after him if he gets offered more money elsewhere. His contributions to the team this year proved to be big though, especially in the playoffs. He averaged 3.8 blocks, 1.7 steals, and boasted a 72.4 field goal percentage on 8.4 attempts in only 16 minutes. His best performance came in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks, with 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 blocks. 7! The Knicks made him look like prime Bill Russell. This was all in 25 minutes, mind you, and he was a key contributor in helping them survive the gentleman's sweep. He showed the Celtics what he can do when given the opportunity, so I think that if they can, the Celtics will try and hold on to him if they can sign him on another cheap contract. But if they can't, they're going to have to let him go because of their current second apron situation. Alright, next, we got Al Horford. This year he hits free agency, and in my opinion, he's most likely going to retire. He's 38 years old now and has accomplished everything you want as an NBA player. He has 5 All-Star nods, made second team All-Defense, was All-Rookie, and now has an NBA championship under his belt. If I was his age, I would probably hang it up after a long but fulfilling 18-year tenure in the league. If he doesn't retire though, teams like the Lakers in dire need of a big could scoop him up on a vet minimum, so I think that he's probably going to be moved. Next up, we got Porzingis. The few couple words that come to mind when somebody mentions his name to me is, can't stay healthy. He hasn't hit the 60-game mark since he's been on the team, and it's very concerning, especially during their playoff run this year where he said he had serious trouble breathing. However, during his limited time this year, he had great averages, shooting threes at a 41.2% clip on 6.6 shot attempts per game, bringing it up by 3.7%. His field goal percentage dropped down to 48.3% though, per 13.7 attempts, which brought it down by 3.3%. His points per game also went down by 0.6, going from 21.1 to 19.5. What really matters, though, is that his stats are similar to last season's, which is a good sign. If he stays healthy, he's a key piece to this team and will be favored over Jrue Holiday if either of them are traded, because players like him are a rarity, hence the unicorn nickname. He provides great interior defense with his blocking ability and height, and is also a free-level scorer. So if he's healthy, it makes this Celtics team much scarier to go up against on both ends of the floor. His rare skill set makes it highly unlikely for him to go somewhere else, especially since he fits in so well with the team's playstyle. But it's also not out of the question because of his struggles to stay off the injury report. Next up, we got Jrue Holiday. He can still provide a lot to the team. He's a reliable three-point shooter and a defensive menace. He's the replacement for Marcus Smart and has done his job well, earning his second ring with the C's last year too. He's a 2-time All-Star and has made 6 All-Defense teams, 3 of them being first-team All-Defense. He went from being in the Big Three with Giannis and Middleton to being a role player on one of the deepest teams in the league, and has completely bought into his new role these past 2 seasons. I love his play style and intangibles he brings to the team, but he's getting older, and you can find other players of a similar skill set, which is why I think he will probably end up being moved. Will his age start to show now that he's 34, soon to be 35? We'll leave that up to Father Time. Next up, we got Derek White, their glue guy. He's my favorite defensive guard in the league and probably my favorite player on the team. In the top 10 players with the highest defensive rating, he sits at number 10. And out of those 10, only one other player averages a block and a steal, and that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. However, SGA is 2 inches taller than White and also has a larger wingspan by 3.5 inches, so the fact that he's doing all of this kind of stuff at his height is insanely impressive. He's a fundamentally sound player that you can always rely on to get a quick bucket and make sure to hustle back on defense. He's not only the kind of player you want, but the kind of player you need. He's contributed immensely to the team's top 5 defensive rating and second fewest points per game allowed by opposing teams. He's absolutely worth every penny to me and is definitely untouchable. Last but not least, we got the Jays. Now we get to the focal point and core of this team, JB and JT. Although their chance to go back-to-back was spoiled by the Knicks, I don't think you split these two up. Yes, their contracts are large, but they're essential to this team if the Celtics want to win, and they both work well together. They're ball dominant, which can be problematic at times, but still spread the ball out well because they like to prioritize the three. A testament to this strategy working was this past season in 2024 and 25. They had the most threes made by a team in a single season while also taking the number 2 seed. Now, if you had to choose one or the other, you clearly stick with Tatum because not only is he younger, but he also averages more points, rebounds, and assists than Brown, making him one of the untouchables. He's a franchise, period. However, now with Tatum most likely out to begin next season, I don't see a move happening anytime soon, which is why I think that Jalen is highly unlikely to get moved. So that's the tier list, and I just wanted to go over a couple of expectations that I have for the team next season. To start, my expectations aren't too high for them without Tatum, but they're going to make the playoffs for sure, and that's a guarantee.
Guarantee! Guarantee!
My next thing is, don't be surprised if Jalen puts up the best stats of his career and makes a case for MVP while Tatum is out, because he's clearly capable and he's shown us that in Game 5 of the ECSF. Expect Pritchard to keep trending upward, and I presume he's going to average about 18 points per game, especially considering he's going to get more minutes. I think it's highly likely that he enters the starting 5, considering that Tatum's going to be out, and if Holiday gets moved, it's only going to pave the way for Pritchard to have yet another career year. Expect Drew or Porzingis to get moved. I see more value in Porzingis even though he gets injured frequently, but without him, assuming that Horford retires or goes somewhere in free agency, they don't have many options to fill up that 5 spot. Both are contracted for at least 2 more years at a combined total of about a $65 million salary annually, so one is going to have to go. Now, the dark horse option here is to move Jaylen Brown, but I just don't see that happening now with Tatum being out for an extended period of time. They need someone like Brown who can lead the team in the meantime. And last but not least, Psycho Joe ain't going anywhere. So whoever stays on this team is going to be under great leadership, albeit crazy, but he gets the job done. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you agree or disagree with anything I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.